famous quote, which is what he used to kind of get around this problem, but he didn't really solve it. So what happens is, around this time, you have philosophers and poets and kind of collaborating. You get this limerick: "Merrily, merrily, merrily, life is but a dream." Because at that point, once you realize that you simply do not know that other people are existing, that people have the same quality as they do in dreams, because in dreams we assume that people don't exist, people that we meet don't exist. So, if that's the limitation of empiricism, then science tends to break down, because that which a scientist takes for granted is actually a leap of faith. It's a measure of practicality. You could place a value on assuming that there are other people in the universe other than yourself, and they're not all just illusions created by your mind. It's hard to have a conversation with somebody and say, well, maybe you don't exist and I'm the only one who exists. It's also hard to convey information to somebody if you're assuming they don't exist, and it's also difficult to recreate somebody's experimental results if you don't believe that they exist. So, going back to rationality, if the dream and reality share that same common problem of solipsism, then one can place value on assuming that in a dream, the people in your dreams are actually real. The value is to conclude that the dream is actually another real place. Nietzsche once wrote that early men foolishly arrived at religion because they perceived their dreams to be another real place. Well, I think that Nietzsche's actually the fool here, because there's no reason to deny that the dream is actually another real place. And when you arrive at the conclusion that it is another real place, what happens is you gain the ability to leave your body. Because if somebody is watching your body and you are dreaming of another real place, then you would be in another real place. Your experience, your soul would leave your body and you would be in another real place. Simply. So, in a waking moment, you have only your experiences from the vantage point of the self, and it never changes. So, in that regard, life after death is just a matter of changing your way of perceiving the world. Now, the forces and the energies and the matter and the mechanisms, the organic mechanisms that cause us to stay stable in this world are relevant to how we actually can leave this world. So that we can divorce ourselves from our bodies and arrive at another point in time and space. So, in this sense, we are, well, many people in the world are in the act of teleporting to another time and space. And it is almost through will that we assume that it's just the natural course of things that we're going to go to another time and space. It's a matter of faith, that what people are taught religiously and such. And some people assume that, well, everybody just dies. But death and rotting can actually be seen as a form of rough organic teleportation. So, rough organic teleportation then is based on teleportation in a technological sense, except the mechanisms are microorganisms and trans-dimensional spaces, I suppose. So ultimately, when something rots, when something rough organically teleports, all of its matter is being converted into energy, and then that energy converts into pure potential energy. It takes up no space at all. It has no mass, and can move to any point in time and space, and will be able to be reattached to all of its matter by converting back into another form of energy and back into flesh and cellular composition. So, a mechanism like this would be similar to uploading into a fabricated body, so that we have only to solve the problem of replicating an organic android or a synthetic human to the point in which would be able to upload a dead person into a new body. In one version, the uploadable bodies never I can sleep with you.